there is this mentality of people just traveling abroad secretly. They don't want people to know that they are traveling. So guys, I am here at the park, and something just came into my mind, and I feel like let me share with you guys because it might help someone. So there's some things I wish I knew before I travel abroad, you know. First of all, this goes to those people who come from the village, province, or the rural areas. I mean, I was born in the village. I went to school in the village, you know, everything was in the village. And those days in the 90s, there was no information. I'm really happy, like, you know, nowadays there is mobile, you know, the internet is really doing well, and people can access information from everywhere. Like when I was growing up, you know, there was no phone. Actually, I had a phone after high school, but my phone, I couldn't even access internet, you know. And that time, you know, there was a difference between city life or city people and the people in the village, you know. Like if you go to the city, everything was super fast, like everyone was busy doing their own things. But back in the village, you do the same thing, you know, the same routine, you meet the same people, you know, there is nothing, you don't grow, you know. So I'm happy, like, you know, nowadays things have changed, and people in the village or people in the province are really evolving, like, you know, they get first-hand information, you know, even if they don't stay in the city. There is much difference, like, you know, even the old people know what is happening, know what is going on. Nowadays you don't need to have even a television, you know, to know what is happening. There are many, there are gadgets, you can go online and find information, you know. And now people in the city have now access to the phones more, and they can communicate with people who are in the village, you know. So I'm really happy that things have changed. And this is, I'm talking about, for example, my country, because that's where I know everything. So I come from Kenya, and you know, the village life in the 90s was really different compared to the city life. Okay, so let's start. The first thing I wish I knew is research, guys. Please do research before you travel anywhere, you know, whether it's for work, whether it's for vacation, I mean anything. Please do research. I wish I had done research. Let me tell you, my first destination, it was actually Libya, you know. For those people who knows Libya, it was chaos, you know. And I didn't know that, you know. I didn't do a background check about that. I didn't know, you know, what was happening. I just found myself, you know, in Libya, you know, that kind of stuff. So please do research about the place. And what I mean research is, first of all, do research about the history. Just learn a bit of history of the country, you know, and know something about the country before you travel. And then another thing is culture, you know, culture and traditions. Like, for example, let me tell you about Libya. Can you imagine? I come from the village. I just, you know, found myself, you know, going to Libya. I didn't do any background check. I didn't do any research about the culture and traditions. When I arrived Libya, I realized that people were actually covering their head, and you know, the dressing code was different with what I'm used to. So if I had done research about that something could be different, you know. I could have you know, I could have prepared myself psychologically to know the kind of dressing they wear, you know, that kind of stuff. But for me, I didn't do that. That was really shock on me. Another thing under research, I would say, there is one more important thing that I wish I had done a background check, and that is the safety of your destination, you know. I don't know where to start, to be honest, because I did a very big mistake. I didn't do a background check of Libya. For those people who knows Libya or any war zone, how it is, it was so risky. I really risked my life, but I didn't know. To be honest, I was very naive. I didn't know, and I didn't have information about Libya. I used to study Libyan history and all that, but I didn't know how bad it was, you know. Remember, that was in 2013. I didn't know that in 2011 they had a very bad war. It is a war zone, but I didn't know that, you know. So that was a very big mistake that I did. So let me tell you what happened when I arrived there. So I am here in Bengazi. I just arrived, and the first thing at the airport, guys, you know, I come from Nairobi. For those people who have traveled to Nairobi, they know, you know how the Nairobi airport looks like. It's so beautiful. And then here I am, a very naive girl from the village. Expectations are very high, you know. When you're traveling abroad, you know, from your country to another country, you expect a lot of different things from your country. And remember, I just came from the village, so my expectations were very high. So the moment I landed in Bengazi airport, guys, I don't know how I felt. It was like a village, you know, because I understand the airport was destroyed during war, and you know, there were holes everywhere, you know, everywhere there were holes. But at that particular time, it didn't rain on me like those holes were actually the bullets, you know, that were left after the war. I didn't know that. I really didn't know. So please check the safety of your destination before you travel. So I arrived in Libya. I am here, very naive, you know. Okay, I started work. I didn't even, I found myself, you know, like confused or something. So I am in Libya, very confused. I am like in a totally different world. Yeah, of course, it's a different world compared to my village life, you know. So things are different. The dressing code, the culture, the food, I mean, everything. I didn't have any idea. I just found myself there. The worst thing is when the war struck, you know. In 2013, there was still war. And really, I will talk about it later. I'll find a video on how I survived in Libya. But I survived anyway, you know. There was war. There was fighting day and night. It really traumatized me. Even after I came back, thank God I came back alive, you know. There was a time when I was there that I knew that was it, you know. Like that was it. That was the end of me. Because where I was staying, you know, there was shootings, and the building was destroyed from up, and we were down. So that was the time I knew, bye bye. But you know what, I'm still here, you know, to share my experience and, you know, to help someone who is trying to travel anyway just because of work, you know. I understand very well, you know, when you are in a situation whereby you really need job, you really need money, things are not working out wherever you are, you know, you can risk anything, you know. You know, my aim of you know, going abroad wasn't actually that I was in bad situation, because I was working at that time, remember. So my aim was just to go abroad, you know, that mentality. I just want to go abroad, that kind of stuff. So it wasn't like I was in bad situation. But I understand there are people who are really in bad situations, like they have to do something, you know, for them, for their life to work out. So if you are in that situation, please don't just go anywhere because, you know, where you are, things are not working out. Please don't go, especially war zone. Please just don't go. So it's getting warmer here at the park, and I don't have time to complete. So let's catch up again in the next video on the things that I wish I knew before I travel. So see you soon.